At some point in the digital age of boss babes, new money, and ambitious rookies, we stopped consulting our village's wisest. Women have been the heartbeat of the world within their respective communities, workforces, and families since the dawn of time. They are the magic makers, the peacemakers, and the ass kickers. Let's celebrate them with the matriarchy party. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Matriarchy Party. I have quite a guest today, and I'm telling you, this woman is so booked and busy. I can't believe I got a sliver of her time today. You're never going to believe this. The one and only, well, let me just jump into your bio before I even let me just read a little taste here. Jessi Collins. She's the vocal director for the Kelly Clarkson show, y'all. I mean, Jessi and I met in 2019 through a mutual friend. We immediately hit it off. She also sings as she's talking, only she's a professional person, but like making everything into a song. But she is a talented angel from heaven, soul sister. My sisters and I always giggle that my toxic trait is thinking that when I sing karaoke, I sing the way that Jessi actually does. She's so talented, it'll like blow you away. But after singing karaoke with her and Zach Levi, let's just say I was humbled, okay? It is a toxic trait. That's not how I sing. But anyways, jumping back into it. Jessi has sang with Kelly for 12 years now. You've likely at least, if not many instances, seen her in a concert singing with Kelly or on the show. Surely you caught that White Christmas Sisters performance she did alongside Kelly and that beautiful baby blue dress 2 years ago. Hello. Watch it every Christmas now. Sorry, Rosemary Clooney. You're out. Jessie's in. Her resume is out of this world. She started as a session singer at the ripe old age of 6. What? Both of her parents are musicians. Her grandparents are musicians. It's in the blood. She grew up always wanting to be a singer. I love it. Know what you want and just pursue that. She was also Diane Warren's demo singer for 10 years, a decade. Very casual, just iconic behavior. Jessi Collins, I'm so honored you could carve out some time in your busy New York City furniture buying, apartment furnishing schedule. I love you so much. Thanks for being here. Welcome to the podcast.
Hi, Courtney. Wow, you make me sound so much cooler than I am.
Oh my God. That wasn't even the half of it, guys. One quick Google and you will see what a woman. Gosh, I love you so much. I'm so happy to see your face.
Hi, I love you and I love your face.
Love you. I mean, you know what? We actually got to see each other not long ago in November, so it feels like I just saw your face, which I'm so grateful for. Before that,
can you come back?
Yeah, I think it's time. It must be. Yeah. Surely in the next few months, I'll be back. And as long as we don't have to eat all we can eat in pie, what was that? 48 hours into knowing each other, we saw the Waitress. I think is my favorite musical now. I love it so much. I was crying. Well, I think we were both ugly crying.
Oh, we wept.
Like, nice to meet you. We were weeping. And your talented unicorn friend, Shoshana, was Jenna. Oh my gosh. It was the true star treatment. I was like emoji heart eyes. We're walking into the back. And then I guess when you're just in a show about pie, there's pies aplenty. I don't know what the pie deal was.
There was pie everywhere. We went backstage to say hi to Shoshana and there was pie literally everywhere. And we ate
and
it
they're
all.
like, want some pie? And we're like, yes, actually, we haven't eaten any lunch.
Also, it's so gross that we were like, yeah, we'll have some pie. And then we like ate all their pie.
I think that they had like 20 boxes of hundreds of boxes, but we had like, it feels like 6 slices a piece. I don't know.
We had like 6 or 7 each. I didn't eat. I've maybe had pie once since then. And it's not easy to even think about.
It doesn't hit the same after that. No. I feel like we were in a pie coma for weeks. I still can't look at pie the same. Wow. So sharp pivot.
Yeah.
Welcome to Matriarchy Party. It's all about your matriarchs.
Thanks.
Who is your matriarch or multiple that we're talking about today?
Well, I would just say my mom, who is also my best friend. And then her mom, my grandma, who I was very, very close to, who passed about 9 months ago. Carol, my mom's Jamie and her mom was Carol. And they're both just like totally the best, strongest, most incredible women that I have been fortunate enough to actually like have, in my life and to know really well and to be unbelievably close with.
I mean, moms and grandmas are the best, first of all. Second of all, I think you surround yourself with really strong, talented, powerful women. I feel like you have core group of friends in general, but like just a lot of strong women around you.
Yeah. And I think that's probably part of where that comes from. It's what I'm used to. It's what I know. It's what, I
gotta demand
love
that.
women.
Yeah.
I love women. I love men too, but I just, I love having strong, opinionated, artsy, open women around me. Yeah.
I love that. Must be why we hit it off. Yeah, I always say, like, just because
definitely.
we're pro women here, we're not anti-men, okay? That's just it's just a podcast about women. You don't have to choose. It's just,
Of course.
Well, when we think of a matriarch, we think of a woman who's the head of their family, tribe, or organization. When in your life did you feel like you had to demonstrate those traits, whether by necessity or not? So I know that your child is Rooster, a tiny baby Chihuahua.
A tiny baby Chihuahua Terrier mix named
Roo.
He's asleep on the couch behind me.
Rooster
being an angel.
Man. He's always an angel, sweet angel. But you have not pushed out a child in the traditional matriarch sense. But like I'm sure, and like
not out of my vagina, but he's pretty close.
No, yeah.
Not that I know, not that I remember. Yeah.
But I'm sure there's been instances within like friendships or groups or work colleagues that you've also had to like play a matriarch role, would you say?
Sure. Yeah. I feel like I have like kids in the industry, like even one of my best friends who is an unbelievable singer and vocal arranger. And his name is Aaron Encinas, and he actually sings in Kelly's band with me when we like go out on the road. He calls me mom. Like he literally calls me, like when he introduces me to people, he's like, this is my mom. And I'm like, always like, this is my son. He's 32.
You're like, I was I was 1 year old. Yeah. Right.
Yeah. No, but and that's because, kind of like I had, women that I came up under in the TV world and like house band world and session singing world. And then, you grow up into it and become more experienced. And then you have other people coming up under you. And that's been like such a huge joy for me in my work, is like seeing potential in singer. I love singers, and seeing potential in singers, hearing their voices, seeing their hard work and being able to like give them jobs and, share with them the wisdom that I've learned and am still learning. And, I feel like it's probably a little less matriarch and a little more like mother hen clucking at them when I'm like section leading and I have singers and I'm telling them what parts to sing. I'm definitely a clucker, and any of them would tell you that. But
you were born to be a mentor,
Yeah, and it's true. It's like I think with singing too, it's like if I'm vocal directing someone or I'm in the booth with someone or whatever, like you're also kind of a therapist, because singing is so emotional and your voice is so affected by how you feel and what you're thinking about. And that, you kind of got to like walk people through whatever is going on in order to get the best performance out of them,
Totally. I mean, that makes so much sense. You like want to, like anything, you want to connect with the people you're working with. So there's like that layer of vulnerability, and you feel like whatever the objective is, whether I'm sure there's like more emotional days at work. It's emotional for happy reasons or more hurting. Just the emotions you're trying to convey with songwriting and singing. And seems like you have to have that kind of connection.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you feel like, you've been singing your entire life. You knew what you wanted to do at a young age. You were surrounded by it. There was never any other, when I grow up, I want to be a veterinarian. There was never anything else that like.
Well, that's not true.
Okay.
When I was in first grade, my dream was to be a National Geographic photographer.
Wow.
That was the first time that I was like, I know what I want to do.
Oh my God.
And I was even like singing around then, but I was like, I know what I want to do, because my friend's father was a National Geographic photographer, and he was such a great guy. And he came to our class and like showed us all his pictures.
Cute.
And then of course I wanted to be a marine biologist.
Of course.
And I went to marine biology camp. Yeah. Duh.
Cool.
But I still want to be a marine biologist.
But who doesn't?
I'm really not good at science.
I bet that's not true. But I also think, you know what? Sometimes I think there's cool things to be had as hobbies. Like, I think that you are amazing. Like, you always make time to travel, from what I've known you. It feels like I've known you a lot longer than we have, but I'm like in the 5 years I've known you, which is a long time.
Yeah.
And you also take a lot of beautiful, like, travel photography. So I feel like you still have that in you, and obviously like appreciate and love it, and you get to do it. It's just like not monetized, which maybe one day it will be, or one day you can just, or for now, you could just keep it as something just for you and a hobby.
Yeah.
I love it.
I love it.
Well,
but yes, I did always sing, and yes, it was the natural place for me to go.
Sure.
I mean, as the school of singing for me was just like sleeping on the floor at the, like at the studio when my parents were in there, and all these, and all these singers were in there singing together, and I'm just like taking a nap and eating Jolly Ranchers,
So you're just like, while eating candy, it's just ingrained in me. Like school, this is school.
Yeah.
I would be down for any school that I was napping and eating candy and like listening to music. No wonder I'd be drinking the Kool-Aid too.
Oh, same.
What do you think? I'm sure success has evolved, as I know it has for me as I've gotten older. Like, what did success mean when you were first starting to think of like your goals and ambitions, and what has it evolved, and what does it mean to you now?
I honestly don't know that my idea of success has changed that much. Because it has, now that I've walked through some just extremely hard stuff, as you do as you get older. It has, but I think success for me is like to keep going, to not stop.
Right.
Like success to me is having good relationships, is loving people well, is, I think that money is important, and I like it, and it's really helpful. And I have worked for a really long time to make sure that, I'm like one of those, like, no one's ever going to take care of me. I better make sure I have my back,
Yeah.
But still, I'm not going to pretend that that's not part of it for me. But really, it's like success is just like after taking hit after hit in life, to me, it's just like not giving up.
Yeah.
Because I don't think it's this thing that you reach. I don't think success is like, and then I had success.
Yes.
Like, and then I reached success. Yeah. And it's exactly the mountain. Like, you're never at the top of the mountain. Blah, it's the journey. It's the climb. Miley Cyrus. But I think it's so true though, that it's like, it's to me, success is being malleable and like evolving and like continuing to be like, I'm just going to keep learning.
Yeah.
I'm going to keep going. I'm going to keep walking through whatever doors are open to me that feel like the right doors, and as long as there's that peace that remains within me, that's all that matters.
100%. I think
to me, that's success. Like, that's a successful life, having love in your life and just to keep going and being curious and learning. It's like, that's kind of it to me.
It's so true. And I think what's important about that is like I always say like nobody has a manual. Everyone's literally just making it up as they go. And like you work with people in the entertainment industry and like very high profile people. And it's like, it's still, I guess, having the curtain pulled back a little bit, literally and metaphorically, it feels like you get to see that people are people, no matter if they're in movies or on stages and performing for sold out stadiums. I think it's just important to put one foot in the other, because we're all like having the same human milestones, for better, for worse, of like, we like suffering loss to some degree, or like whether that's a person or a pet or like a job or something. And I think like just empathy and being able to roll with it and pivot and keep like persevering through the hard shit when, life is not, even if you are making great money and seeing like success as like the glitz and glam being in the public eye, it's still, you just have to keep going.
Well, yeah. As they say, your ass follows you everywhere. So it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Like, your problems are still going to be your problems, whether or not you have money. Like, or whatever that worldly like success. Like but
it's not like the destination.
To do the work.
It's the journey. It's like you don't just get to end up like, well, now I can phone it in, because it's like, no, now it's something else. Like, I didn't know what I was doing. I got here and now I have to pivot and learn a whole new set of skills. Like, if you're not like doing the work to like put in your own personal growth, professional growth, it's like you can't just stay stagnant with anything.
Right. And if you're not enjoying your life, right. If there are seasons of like putting your head down and working and just being like, this is going to be shitty for a little while.
It's not fun.
And that's great. And you have to do it. But those seasons shouldn't last for that long. If you don't have joy in your life, like why?
You're right.
What is the point of any of it then?
Or even like joy on the horizon, like you said. Like, it's not always like sunshine and rainbows.
No, it's not.
It's like,
but you do the work. And when it's not, you have to do the work. You just decide, like, I'm going to do the work or I'm not going to do the work, like, and for me, it's like, that's been my success, is like, I'm doing the work. I've been doing the work. I'm going to keep doing the work, working on myself, like, all the time.
I love that. It's so important and so attractive. I think just like to people you want to be friends with or in relationships with, like, you're doing the work and you want to like self-improvement. Love it. You read a book, you're listening to podcasts, you're self-aware. We like going to therapy, just like work on yourself.
Yeah.
So people like, that's great. Like, investing your time and resources in your own self seems so selfish and so important, but I love it. Describe a time we're asking for what you want paid off.
Oh, I mean, gosh, a specific time. It's funny with that. So many times asking for what I want has paid off. And I think it's like been such a crazy, I don't know why or maybe we, or maybe women, I don't know, like, have to keep being reminded that, like, if you ask for something, like, you'll probably get it. Like, if you say, like, this is what needs to happen. Yeah. Like,
advocating for
people
yourself.
are like, okay. 100%.
Or if, like,
but it's when we're like, oh, well, could we maybe possibly, like, and
tiptoe around it?
I feel like so much of the beginning of my career, and of course when I was younger, and was like apologizing all the time for asking for anything. Yeah. And, I mean, people kind of like smell that from a mile away, and they're like, oh no, well, if you're apologizing for it, then obviously
you don't deserve it.
There's a reason that I shouldn't give it to you. So I think the lesson for me, more than like one specific time, has just been like, no, this is exactly what needs to happen. This is what I'm bringing to the table, and this is what needs to be brought to the table to meet me. And this is what we're going to do. And if this doesn't work, sure, I can adjust here and there, and there's time for negotiation and whatever. But at the end of the day, it's like, if you know yourself, you know what you're bringing to the table. You need to know what you're worth, and then you need to get it.
Know your worth. Take it from me, Courtney Worth. I love that. Yes. That's so my brand. Ask for what you want. Cause it's like, what's the worst they can say? No, or maybe it's like something better you hadn't considered. This or something better. Let's talk about your matriarchs. So mom and grandma, did you spend a lot of time with both of them growing up? Sounded like with your mom, at least, for sure.
Yeah. So a ton of time with my mom, always in the home with mom and my dad. My parents are still married. They've been married for 1,000 years. I'm really trying to remember how many, 45,
amazing.
Something, a lot of 46. Yeah. Anyway. So with my mom all the time, she, was a singer and traveled all around the world, and we usually went with her. Sometimes didn't, but we were kind of almost always together. And my grandmother, I spent quite a bit of time with her, but she and my grandfather taught, like, schools of songwriting and music all over the world. So they lived, a lot of my childhood, they lived in Texas. They lived in Singapore for a lot of my childhood.
Wow.
They were kind of all over the place. So, yes, I still feel like I spent a lot of time with her, but actually my grandmother and I spent a lot more time once I was an adult.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
And like living in the same place then when you were an adult, like you were all
Yeah. They, we were all in LA. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
What do you think?
Once they kind of slowed down and retired.
And like, it sounded like maybe even though they slowed down, they didn't really slow down. They were still like,
no. My grandmother wrote her memoirs 2 years ago, like a year, like she finished it like a year before she passed. Yeah. So yeah.
I gotta read it. Oh my gosh. Cool.
Wait, I have it right here. It's a really pretty cover. It's called Chasing Fireflies in the Twilight.
Oh my gosh, look how beautiful.
I know, the artwork is really pretty. Anyway, yeah. So she was like, she had Parkinson's and was like, so old and was like, I'm just writing my book, just starting a new project. She was a poet. She wrote these like epic long poems, and
that's amazing.
Wild.
See, never stop doing the work.
Exactly. Wow. Like write your book at 90. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like here I am. Here's what I have to say. I'm going to write it down.
Yes.
Yeah. It's so cool. It's so inspiring.
Wow. What do you?
And it's that one thing that I love to think about too is like, it is never too late. Yeah. Like it's never too late for anything to start ever. Like there's no such thing as like time is such a, I don't know. It's such a made up concept.
We put these boundaries on ourselves and milestones that are just like, especially what is time? The boundaries that made sense in 10 years ago, 20 years ago are no longer even valid. It's like, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Start.
And I catch myself doing it all the time. And then I say, stop, like, don't, or like, I'm this or that, or I should have been this, or I could have, or if only
it's too late.
No, that's just not, that's not real.
No.
Yeah, exactly.
It's so true. And that's so encouraging. I do think like every time like the Forbes 30 under 30 comes out, like something like that, I'll be like, well,
oh my God.
I'll never be 30 under 30. But you know what's more interesting to me is like hearing all the stories when it's like Martha Stewart started her company at 50, or like Julia Child started cooking at this. I'm like, I love to hear 50,
Lucille
60, 70,
Ball
80.
started performing at 38. Like, it's like, I
want to hear Forbes 80 under 80. Okay. Like I love
30 under 30 is like, why? Okay.
That's great for you. But like, I love people who pivot. I love people who are like still working because some people, like, you either. Like,
maybe if it was like 15 under 15, it would be like, wow, like you are like,
what in the Nepal?
You're
baby?
Doogie Howser.
Yeah,
like this
exactly.
is crazy. This is so cool. But it's like 30 under. No, that's not.
It's such an accomplishment because Forbes is next to it. But also, it's more interesting to me to hear just of like older people pivoting or like starting something new, writing a biography at 90. I think it's so cool. And I'm like, more of that. What do you think your mom / grandma would consider to be the biggest accomplishments of their life or regrets?
Gosh, it's so hard to like answer a question for someone else. Because I actually don't really know. So I guess it's just like what I would assume. And then it's like, what if I'm wrong?
Yeah.
I don't really know. I think that they would both think that their children are probably their greatest accomplishment. Maybe just having children. Having children is so gnarly.
Oh my gosh.
Especially like for a woman, like not even now, like when it's like, you think like back then and they were both professionals and then had kids and it's like, oh my God,
it seems impossible in 2024, but like then, there's so many things working against you. Wow.
I actually really hope that both of them would think that their biggest accomplishments were the way that they have like reached the world around them, with both of them are songwriters, both of them are, musicians, and like just the amount of people that have like experienced their art and their love and like learned from their wisdom. Like, I hope that would be, what they would consider their biggest accomplishment. I guess I don't really know.
Well, you can ask your mom.
Yeah. I'll ask my mom.
Her.
I'll be like, Grandma, can you talk to me from heaven and beyond?
Just meditate on that. You should probably give you
just think about your answer. I know she for sure will. Like tonight, literally, I'm going to sit here tonight.
A page of her book
that was so
open.
funny. And then, exactly. The book's going to blow open.
100%.
A shooting star is going to fly over. Yeah, it's going to be great. I can't wait.
Report back.
I know. I'm so excited.
Do you remember either of them having hobbies or doing any like self-care? Like now I feel like it's such a buzzword, but like moms and grandmas really didn't make time for like self-care. But like maybe it's like they did doodling or something. Oh.
Yeah. No, my heater, I'm sitting in front of a heater.
I was like,
and
you're like, it just so happens.
I'm like, it just so happens that, so my mom is a puzzler.
Ooh, wow.
So she's
patience.
She's jigsaw. She's crosswords. She's Sudoku. She's like, my mom's side of the family is all like real brainy guys, like real brainies, like like they read a book in like a day or like an hour. Like my grandmother would read a book in a couple hours, like the whole thing, and then report back to you on everything that usually that she thought was stupid about it.
You're like, Grandma, I have to write this book report. Can you tell me what it's about so I can write my book?
Totally. Yeah. No, but my mom she loves like a quiet, she's like, I want a fire. I want a good glass of wine. I want my puzzle. Like
That's
she
great.
just is, she's
curator
like
there.
Slow. Yeah,
so she's
for sure.
Brilliant and creative. Like she's got the artsy side and the like academic
totally.
Wow.
Yes. She's like extremely equal. Oh yeah. It's so annoying. My grandmother, Carol was less of a hobby gal. She just was constantly working, like constantly creating, constantly working. She was good at like keeping up with relationships. She was like very, I don't know. She was
loved her people.
Always about her purpose, you know, she was like about her purpose and her drive and like doing her thing. She was not like a warm and fuzzy grandma at all. She was very like my ex-boyfriend who I dated in my 20s. He used to call her the dragon, which sounds horrible. But to him, he was like, no, it's like when he first called her that, I was like, what? He was like, no, it's because she's like an ancient being that has all the wisdom of the universe. How did you think dragon was going to go? Send, I know. And they used to send each other poetry like for years back and forth. They would send each other their work. And then years after he and I broke up and like weren't even like friends anymore or anything, they still kept in touch and sent each other their work. I know. It's really cool.
Love that.
Yeah.
Wow. The dragon. That's iconic.
The dragon.
Honestly. It doesn't have to be scary. Yeah. I mean, so what if you're scared? I don't know. Like, that's great.
No, I mean, it's like good scary. No, she was kind of scary, like in a really, really good way.
It's like intimidating.
Like, yeah. She's going to tell you exactly what she thinks and she's not going to apologize for it.
No, my mom's mom was the same way. Like sassy, just like, I'm not trying to hurt your feelings, but I'm also not trying to protect your feelings. I'm going to tell you what I think. But what's the best advice you've ever received or something that stuck with you that either of them has told you?
My mom, I mean, if it's just like something that stuck with me, I can remember from the time that I was probably 4 or 5 years old, my mom telling me, try not to take it on because I am toxically empathetic to where like I will get physically sick because of other people's problems. Wow. I'm still that way, sadly.
I feel like that's you.
I have done so much therapy.
Are you a water sign?
Surrounding this. I'm a Gemini.
Oh, no, I don't know.
Although I'm a Pisces, my rising sign.
I don't know. I just like
and Pisces. Anyway, I don't really know much about that, but
either way, empath, super empath.
Yeah. Yes. So my mom would, I mean, just like even as a little kid, like I was so burdened constantly with the emotions of other people and everything that was going on and how to, you know, she never told me to push it away, but she always would like try to help me not take it upon my own self.
Just absorbing it under your skin.
And she still to this day, I'm 40 years old, is like trying to help me do that still. And I'll just be like, Mom, you don't get it.
You don't get it. I have to. To the point of like, for better or worse, I have to. Oh my gosh. I get that.
Oh yeah. To the point of literally just not even being able to move.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Crippling anxiety. And, oh no. Yep. The things we do for the people we love. Yeah. Okay. Rapid fire. I'm terrible at rapid fire because I want to talk to you for more hours.
Rapid fire.
Is there a song, beauty product, fragrance, piece of jewelry that either of them wore that makes you think of them?
Yes. Okay. Paris perfume. I don't know if you remember that. It's old school YSL perfume, from the 80s or whatever. My mom wore that. That would always make me think of her. And that black, when Oil of Olay was like really nice. Ooh. And they had this black heavy bottle, and I would always go into her bathroom and just like open the bottle and feel like so lady. Yeah. My grandmother, yes, I have a cross that a golden cross that I actually gave to her the last couple of years of her life. And then she gave it back to me right before she passed. So I wear that often. And that's like, I think of her a lot.
I love that. I know that.
Yeah, I do too.
That's so special.
Well, the backstory of that is that my housekeepers robbed me blind and stole like all of my jewelry and everything that I had, which was not a ton, but they stole like the couple pieces that I had from my grandmother. And I was feeling really sorry for myself. And then I decided to turn it around and I was like, I'm not going to have a poverty mentality. So I went bought her something, bought her like a really beautiful, like gold, beautiful piece of jewelry. And then now it just means a lot to me.
Oh my God.
And it's a good reminder of also just like move on. It's just stuff.
Just stuff is replaceable. Giver's gain, they say,
Yeah.
True. What's one word to describe both of them?
Wisdom.
Dragon lady. No.
Yeah. Dragon. Dragons.
Wise
House
dragon.
of the Dragon.
What do you think you inherited from your mom or grandma or have in common with her? I mean, I can list off 10 things just by talking to you.
Oh my gosh. I hope I've inherited stuff from them. I mean, for sure, my grandmother's ability to offend people by telling the truth. I probably cushioned my truths a little bit better than she did. I don't know. I think I inherited from my mom, like definitely just love for people and like ability to be nurturing and wanting to like care for people and host people. And like, I love like taking people in.
Yeah.
But also probably like the need for solitude. I think I got that from my mom too. Like very.
Got to recharge by yourself.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I love that. I say I love that a lot, but I'm like, yeah, I feel that. I relate.
I love that.
I love it.
You do love it.
If you could say anything to them right now, what would it be?
Oh, that's so brutal. Just since my grandma just is so recent, I would just tell my grandmother how much I miss her, and she'd be like, "I know,
I'm with you all the time."
Yeah, she'd be like, "I know, don't stop being so emotional about it." I would just say thank you to both of them for being the type of, it's like they're my relatives, which is like such a weird thing to say, but it's like they're both people that I so wanted to be friends with. Like,
yeah,
and I think a lot of people, like a lot of my friends I know don't have that with their mothers or their grandparents or whatever. It's like my mom is like literally my best friend. Like I need her. Like I wouldn't be able to function without her. You know what I mean? So it's like, and not just in a way of like, I need you to be my mom, but like truly like, oh, I like the things like we have so much fun together. I want to be around you. Like you're so smart and funny and like wonderful, Yeah. So I think I would just say
a lot of people don't have that with
like
any family members.
Yeah. Yeah. But I mean, I think it takes a lot of like restraint to be a parent that their kid wants to be around.
That's profound. Sense. No, it's totally.
I think it takes a lot of restraint and a lot of willingness to learn, like, to learn how to move from being someone's parent into being like
it's a different hat
person
you're wearing
in their real life.
Yeah.
And being their friend and being, I think it takes, I haven't done it and I assume it takes a lot of work.
I just
knocking on my phone right now.
Oh, okay. Well, thank you for being here.
But sorry.
I'm so grateful. Don't be sorry. Okay, guys, if you want to see more of Jessi, you can follow her on Instagram. It's at Jessi Collins, right?
Yeah, at Jess Collins.
Oh, at Jess, hold the I.
Jess, hold the I.
And go see her at the Kelly Clarkson show or on tour with Kelly Clarkson.
Yes, come visit us. Yes. I love you. Thank you so much for having me.
See you soon. Thank you for your time. Have a great day.
I'm running out the door like a shit show.
Okay, bye.